It's patron review time. We're going to do 2003's Haunted Mansion starring Eddie Murphy. Let's go. Haunted Mansion stars Eddie Murphy, Marsha Thomason, Jennifer Tilly, and is directed by Rob Minkoff. What's up, guys? Welcome to a patron request. If you remember, we did have a brand new Haunted Mansion. Was that this year? I think it might have been the first part of this year. I can't remember. I guess that says something about the movie. I was not a fan of the new Haunted Mansion, but this will be for Bronson Wright Wolf. I think he really likes this movie. He seemed like he's looking forward to me reviewing Haunted Mansion, which I think is cool. You know, we all have our favorites that are near and dear to our hearts, right? King Kong 1976. On paper, it's probably not the best movie to a lot of people just because of, it's an older movie. It's very, very dated. But that movie will always be a part of my childhood. I don't know how old Bronson is. Maybe this movie is a big part of his childhood.
Get ready.
Hold on!
With what?
For the ride of your afterlife.
Funny enough, this is the first time I've ever seen it. The year 2003, I was actually in Korea for the whole year. I was in the military at the time. And I think my wife took my kids to see this movie, as she did a lot. Pirates of the Caribbean came out that year. This was a big year for Disney with Pirates of the Caribbean. I don't think this was that big of a hit, but they were doing just fine with Pirates. Pirates was this juggernaut, and maybe that was part of it too, because I think maybe this came out after Pirates, and maybe it just got kind of buried. I don't know. But looking forward to diving into this one. It is very different than the newer movie that came out. I think the newer movie, story-wise, was kind of all over the place and really just hard to get invested in. Whereas this one, I actually knew exactly where they were going, and I got invested in it. So first off, let's give you a quick plot synopsis. Eddie Murphy plays Jim Evers. He is part of a real estate team, Evers and Evers, which is, you could just imagine the play on words that you could do with that, with maybe like forever. They do that in this movie. And him and his wife Sarah, they have a real estate company together. He's extremely ambitious. One of these guys that puts the job before everything else. She's basically begging him for a vacation, and so he decides, okay, how about this weekend we get away? And then all of a sudden he gets this call for, you guessed it, the Haunted Mansion. And so he has to go there. He tells his family, we're only going to be there for 20 minutes and then we're going to get the hell out of there. But he, unfortunately, he is locked in there because there is this ghost. The mansion's haunted, right? His wife, Sarah, plays a big part in this because there is this Gracie family. And the wife died and she looks very much like Sarah. Now, before I jump into the things I really like about this movie, some of the interesting trivia I saw about this was it was based off of this Disney designer who designed the original Haunted Mansion from 1969 by the name of Yale Gracie, which I think is really cool. You don't see the guy in the movie or anything, but it's cool that they named the characters after him. And if you think that this particular version of Haunted Mansion is a lot easier to follow than, say, the newer version of the movie, and even the ride, because the ride really is kind of a hodgepodge of different ideas thrown together, and I think it works that way. You're not really looking for a start and end of a story when you go on that ride. You just want to not really be scared, but just get the vibe of being in a really dark haunted mansion with some cool effects along the way. And I think that's what they were trying to copy with this new one. And I think the lesson there was sometimes the lack of story in a ride doesn't translate well to a movie. But in this case, because this is actually based off of the ride in Disneyland Paris, there's a ride there. It's based off of Phantom Manor, which is an actual story. And in this form, it's a lot easier to follow for a movie, which, that was a big step up for me. Now, you do have some interesting characters here, too. And I wasn't expecting, all the interesting actors that played these characters. Of course, I love Eddie Murphy. Who doesn't? Eddie Murphy is one of the most charismatic actors ever. And he always plays the family man to perfection. The dad with the kids and the wife. He's done so many movies where he's a dad. But you have Terrence Stamp, who played Zod in Superman 2. But Terrence Stamp has done so many things, and he's perfect for this type of role. He has that voice that timbre in his voice, you know, your ghost host. Although, does he actually say ghost host in the movie? I don't think he does. But that's just a line from the ride that I constantly think about. And the gypsy in the crystal ball is played by none other than Jennifer Tilly. I did not know that, and that was such a pleasant surprise because Jamie Lee Curtis in the new movie, she didn't really do anything for me in that role. And I can't fully blame her because I didn't really care about any of the characters. And the new movie has Lakeith Stanfield and Rosario Dawson. Fine actors. I love a lot of the roles that they play. Big fan of them. But that particular movie, I just couldn't grab on to what they were doing. But in this movie, I think it's just grounded a lot better. You're focusing on Eddie Murphy playing Jim and his family. And Master Gracie, and really a lot of the things that we see in the ride, you know, a lot of ghosts that pop up throughout the movie. You have evil, I guess, bad ghosts. You have good ghosts, and they're fun. Now, bottom line about this movie, guys, is of course it's not scary. It's for children. It feels like a great family movie. I was totally thinking of my granddaughter, Delilah, and how she probably will love this. You know, she's only 3 now. She just celebrated her 3rd birthday, but I think once she can settle down and actually, you know, watch a movie in full and comprehend what's going on, I think this will be perfect for her, especially since her grandfather happens to be a big horror fan, right? So I think this will be right up her alley. And I had a lot of fun with this movie, which I didn't expect, because Eddie Murphy has done a lot of misses in his career. You know, he's taken a lot of risks, which I think is a good thing. But he always bounces back. He's one of those actors that, you know, he'll have a few dips, but then he just always comes back strong sometimes, you know, with like Shrek. And this new Beverly Hills Cop movie I thought was really fantastic. He slipped right back into the character. I even really liked the kids in this movie. They had a lot of nice moments throughout. They were really good actors. You definitely can't help but root for them. So, you know, in the end, a lot of fun. I would definitely give this, I'll give it a low purchase worthy. Was not expecting that either. You know, again, this will be something that'll be fun to throw in for the family in October. And it's on Disney Plus right now, actually. That's where I watched it, which is really cool. Because if you want to rent it, you can't really rent it on like Prime. You can rent it on like Apple, I think, but Prime you have to buy it. So luckily I got Disney Plus and I can just watch it right on there. So check it out, guys, if you haven't seen the 2003 Haunted Mansion. I think that is the one to beat. That's the best one. And thank you, Bronson Wright Wolf, for another great request. He always gives me really fun movies to cover. And I thank my patrons. My patrons are the best. If you're not a Drumdums patron, consider becoming a patron or becoming a channel member. I love my little community, you know, and getting ideas off of you guys, and really fun. So also be sure to come over to Killer Flicks, where we talk horror all day and every day, and on Fridays we do Free for Fridays. Follow me at Drumdums on my social, support me on Patreon, buy me a coffee. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching. Have a good day. Drumdum out.